Hey everybody, welcome back to Supergirl Thrives. This is Andrea here. And this week on my very first episode, I kind of want to give you a little introduction to where the phrase Supergirl Thrives came from, tell you a little bit about me, and I want to talk about failure. Probably not a very catchy or jazzy topic when you just say the word, but hang with me. I promise we're going somewhere with this. I want to talk about failure and why it's okay. It's okay if you fail. It's okay to take a chance. So the skinny on me and where Supergirl Thrives came from, I'll never forget. It was August of 2016. I have a little girl and she was born in 2013. So she was 3 at the time that Supergirl Thrives basically was born. And I was laying on the couch in the house that I lived in at the time. And she was napping, and I just kind of looked down at my body, and I was like, I'm so miserable. I couldn't fit into anything anymore. I couldn't get around comfortably. But the idea of doing something about it was just daunting. It was like, how the hell? I have this 3-year-old daughter. What am I going to do? It's not like I can come home every day and work out. Just the idea of starting a weight loss journey was just felt like it was just never going to happen. So I was just kind of laying there going, I've got to do something, but I don't really know what to do. And out of nowhere, I seriously believe it was God breathed. The phrase Supergirl Thrives came into my head out of nowhere. And it was just like God was telling me, you got to get up. You got to do something about this. It's too much. You're not happy. I didn't create you to live like this. You got to get off your ass and do something. So I got up, and before my baby girl woke up, I went into the bedroom, stripped down to an exercise bra and a pair of yoga pants, and I took pictures of myself. And that was, like I said, that was August of 2016, and I started losing weight. And by 2018, I had gotten down to a weight that was really, really comfortable for me. And I was fitting into my clothes and I was really happy and things were going well. And I had started an Instagram account, which some of you probably follow me on that Instagram account. It's Supergirl Thrive 777. And I had started that just to have a place to share all my health nuggets that I was learning. Like I was vegan. I went vegan in 2017. Long story short, that did not work out for me. It didn't last, but I did try it. I did it for the entire year. And so I was sharing on my Instagram, okay, this is why you need vitamin B12 when you're vegan. And this is this about animal rights. And this is why red meat is really not good for you. And all this stuff I was learning at the time, which turns out, not all of that information was for me. Now, if you're vegan, God bless you. I couldn't do it, but good for those of you who can. You do you. If that's your jam, good for you, but I couldn't do it. I eat in another way now, which I'll share later. But at the time, I thought I was a vegan rock star. So I was sharing all of this on my Instagram account, and that kind of bled over into, well, I really, really want to help others. Like, I just started having this really big heart for other women. And I was like, I bet there's others who are feeling the same way I am. Well, that got put on a shelf. I quickly forgot about all that because at the time that was 2018 when I finally got to a place where my body, where I was happy with it and everything was going really well. And then my marriage started to go downhill. And no need to go into that, but I did end up getting divorced. I am divorced now for a year and a half. And through the divorce process, which any of you who've been divorced will relate, it's like the toughest time of your life. I gained it all back and then some. So I had to start over with the weight loss journey, but the phrase Supergirl Thrives never went away. It was just always kind of like in the back of my head, like, you're a supergirl. You can thrive and you can help others thrive. So now I'm actually gonna jump in head first, no looking back, and I'm gonna try to do something with this phrase that has meant so much to me for 7 years of my life. 7 years of ups and downs of my life since the phrase was born. So, circling all the way back to failure. Do you guys like Pink? The singer Pink, not the color pink, the singer Pink. I mean, I like the color Pink too, but I really love the singer Pink. And if you're not familiar with her music or you're not a fan, I don't know what's wrong with you. She's a rock star, literally. I absolutely love her. And one of the things I love about her, I mean, she comes across almost as fearless. And I want to be like that. I want to be someone who gets up every day and goes, you know what? Today could be great or today could suck. Whatever it is, I'm ready for it. And even if the scariest challenge ever is put in front of me, I want to go for it. So if you haven't seen Pink's Behind the Music, there's a part in the middle of the show. And I'll just play a clip of it for you.
Everything you are. 2 weeks later, LA called me and he said, okay, I'm going to give you the opportunity to fail. And I said, thank you. I can't wait.
Isn't that great? See, she was having this dispute with a record label, and they wanted her to stay pop. They wanted her to stay on the poppy R&B side of her sound that she'd had with her first album. And she's like, no, I want to branch out and be me. I want to be me. I want to be real. There's things I want to say. She wanted to start working with Linda Perry, and she wanted to, basically get real with her music. And they were like, no, you're not going to sell. Your fans don't want that. It's a career killer. Don't do this. And she said something like, I want to live in love, and if you want to come with me and live in, or something like that. I can't remember exactly how she put it, but I just loved it, and I couldn't stop smiling at her. And I was like, I just love this woman. She is an absolute just badass, and I want to be just like that. But basically, L.A. Reid gave her, he took some time to think about it, and he came back and told her, I'm going to give you the opportunity to fail. And she said, thank you. I can't wait. And there's so much wrapped up in that one statement. Thank you. I can't wait. I mean, like I said, she's a badass. And Misunderstood went on to be this huge album and did so much for her. What if she had sat back? What if she had just said, okay, LA thinks it's a bad idea. I'm going to sit back and not do me. Imagine all the, people that would have missed out on that music. I mean, that album is a banger. If you've never heard it, go listen to it. It's crazy how good it is. And she's only gotten better as the years have gone on. She has sold 135 million records. And it all started with her saying, no, I want to be me. I mean, listen to this quote from her. This is awesome. Every album I worry I'm a dork and a fraud. What if I can't sing anymore? Then I just stop thinking and start playing the guitar, and I realize it's okay to suck, and I move forward. Let's be real, she never sucks. But the point of all of this, the reason I'm bringing this up, is that she's not scared to. If she put out an album and it tanked, sure, I'm sure the label would not be happy, and she wouldn't be happy either. But the point is, she would rebound. She would just come back from it and say, okay, that didn't work. Let's try something else. You can't be afraid of failure. I mean, here I am. I am sitting in my daughter's closet with the door closed because I know that the acoustics are great in the closet. And I'm recording a podcast episode, which is something that I've never done. It's scary as hell. But I'm going to do it anyway because God is tugging on me. He is tugging on me every single day with, you've got to share these messages I keep giving you. You've got to share this. You've got to be, I made you to be more. And I'm doing it. And if I suck, it's okay. I'll move forward. What if we all just went for our dreams instead of worrying about, what if I crash and burn? So what? I mean, I don't know if you guys know who Tim Grover is, the trainer for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and several championship basketball players. But he says, when you get knocked down, you sit down there for a while figure out what went wrong before you get back up again. You know how the people are always saying, if you fall down, get back up and dust yourself off. Well, he says you need to sit down there for a little bit and you need to figure out what went wrong before you stand up again. And I mean, I so agree. You can't be afraid to fail because you'll never get anywhere. Let me give you some amazing examples from history. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times when trying to invent the light bulb. Think about that for a minute. 10,000 pieces of feedback on how not to make a light bulb. And when a news reporter asked him about it, he said, I didn't fail. I found 10,000 ways how not to make a light bulb. That is freaking brilliant. Thomas Edison is also a badass. I didn't fail. Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school 3 times. 3 times a film school did not want to let Steven Spielberg in, a man who went on to direct some of the best movies ever made. What if he just said, okay, I got rejected from film school, I give up. I'm obviously just not meant to be a movie director. What if he'd given up? I mean, do you guys see where I'm going with this? The idea that you might fail. It's okay. You go back to the drawing board, you tweak it, you nip it here and tuck it there and do it again. Try something else. I mean, I love those stories about, I don't have one off the top of my head right now, but I know I've read these stories 1,000 times about men and women who try 10 different things before they find something they can really sink their teeth into and that takes off. I mean, it's okay to fail, and we should all be all right with it. And if you fail trying your best, there's nothing else you could have done. Albert Einstein was officially labeled as mentally slow by the school officials where he went to school. Albert Einstein was labeled mentally slow. I mean, this is a man who revolutionized science and the way we think about the universe. What if he had listened to that? I mean, Dr. Seuss. Okay, I know you guys have read Cat in the Hat when you were kids. Come on, we all know Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss was rejected with his manuscripts of his books 28 times. 28 times, and he just kept coming back, kept coming back, kept coming back. When he died, he had sold 600 million copies of the children's books he wrote. Do you sit down at Christmas to watch The Grinch? I do. My daughter loves The Grinch. 600 million copies of his books he had sold when he died. 28 rejections. That's a lot. Jerry Seinfeld. The first few times that Jerry Seinfeld stood up on a stage to do comedy, he was booed off the stage. It seems like crazy to even kind of think about him being booed off a stage, but he was booed off a stage. And recently, TV Guide voted Seinfeld as the second greatest TV show ever. The point I'm making is that you can't go into something saying, what if it doesn't work? What if people laugh at me? So what if they do? They're just mad because you're trying something and they're not. I could go on and on and on about this, but I think you guys get the point I'm trying to make, is that you can't be afraid to fail, because what if it all succeeds? And I'll be real and vulnerable with you here and tell you, I'm writing a book right now. I'm writing a book, a nonfiction book. It might completely crash and burn. People might hate it. But you know what? I don't care, because I have a message inside of me that I have to get out. So it's not even entering my mind to care if it fails, because I'm going to do it anyway. I don't see failure as a deterrent to the message. Whatever it is you have inside of you, you got to get it out. Whether it's a song, whether it's a book, if it's being a podcast host, if it's anything, whatever it is, you got to get it out. The world needs your contribution. I mean, you got to think of all the wonderful people in history. What if they'd held back? I mean, Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream, and thank God he shared it with all of us. Take these examples from history. Go back and look up inspirational people. And take a hold of your dreams and realize it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail. And if you do, you're going to be better for it. Because the next time you try something, you're just going to be that much better. Okay, guys, I just want to say thank you for checking out my first episode. Take the opportunity to fail. I love all of you. And I hope that as the weeks go on, I get better at this. And we come up with more interesting things to talk about. And next week, I'm having my first podcast chat. I'm bringing on a rock star guest. Her name is Mackenzie Gage. She wrote a book called It's a No From Me. And she has generously and so amazingly agreed to let me chat with her about her book. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Until next time, keep on thriving. Thank you guys so much for listening to Supergirl Thrives. If you like this content, please rate and review me. It helps others find me. I love all of you. And come and see me next week. Follow the show. You never know where we might end up.